Hi guys, and welcome back to Mama Moo World. I thought I'd do this video just because I've been a bit crap and I haven't really posted in a while. I would like to thank everyone for their beautiful messages that they have been sending me. I feel a bit bad because I haven't posted in a while, but every little bit of support that I've had has been absolutely outstanding, so I wanted to say a personal thank you to you guys. And I wanted to do this video dedicated to most of you who have sent me a message, or have said that it's helped them in any way, or even that it just fills up their time on a Tuesday evening. I wanted to talk today about something that's quite sensitive, but that these days is used so much as almost a fashion statement, or something that makes you different from everyone else and you think you're going to get some kind of attention for it, when realistically those who do have to face and suffer with it every single day, it's torture. It's not something that you can even explain. It's something that weighs down your shoulders every single day, and you just have to keep plodding along with it because there's nothing that you can really do. And during pregnancy and during my time of becoming a mum, it's been something that you have to learn to fight, and you have to learn that it will get bigger every single day because your hormones are so different, that the emotions that cause you to have these thoughts and feelings are a lot stronger than they were. And even though you might have got a hold on that, as soon as your pregnancy hormones kick in, I didn't realise that this would even have an effect on me. But it's something that I can express to you guys, and that maybe if you do suffer with any of these things, that maybe you can just be a little bit more prepared than I was, and kind of almost teach yourself before it even happens. But it was certainly something that I didn't expect to see coming or anything like that. So that is my anxiety getting a bigger hold on me. It's something that I was really reluctant to talk about, just because it's such a big part of me that personally I think that it makes me feel weak. So to talk about it makes it real. But it's got to a point where if I can help other people and just let them know that they're not alone, like I felt for so long, it just makes such a difference. And to know that there's someone there that you can talk to that's been through it and that experiences it every day of her life, it just makes you feel that little bit more human, because it's such a dehumanizing part of you, and it sneaks up out of nowhere. I personally have suffered with anxiety and depression for about 6 or 7 years. I've done the whole counselling, I've been offered pills, I've been offered everything under the sun to try and fix it. But it did take me a long time to realise that the best thing to do was to just talk about it. I've spoken to friends and I've spoken to people around me about it in the past, but realistically no one can give you the answer of how to fix it. They can't tell you that it's all going to be okay and then suddenly you feel all brand new. It's not as easy as that. You've got to work through it yourself so that you can fight it the next time it comes. 95% of the population suffer with anxiety and depression of some form, but what gets me at the minute is all of these posts on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You see them absolutely everywhere, of innocent posts that are trying to be there to help people, and people are using them as fashion statements. Especially being pregnant, you've got to be strong because you're growing a child at the end of the day, and it's something that you've kind of got to think, well, I don't want this to kind of be a burden over my shoulders when my baby's here, because that's my number one priority and I don't want to let them down. And kind of people using it as a fashion accessory and as a means to gain attention, kind of, it takes away the urgentness for help, and it takes away the kind of mentality of doctors wanting to be there to help you. I got pulled up by my doctor purely because I've got a history of it. But if you're a new mum and you may not have ever been diagnosed with anxiety and things like that, but feel it over pregnancy, it's so widely talked about that it's almost like you don't think that it's something that matters, when realistically it's something that you need help with. Being someone that had it undiagnosed for 5 years and having to deal with that each day and just putting it down for it being hormones, or you're coming on the next week, you push everything into a tiny little box and it explodes one day. And my biggest fear at the minute is providing for my child. So I automatically have a lot of anxiety and things like that about everyday life, which I understand that everyone does. But for me, it feels so much worse, because you then feel bad about worrying because you don't want anything to harm your child. So it's an endless circle. I wanted to talk about it because every day of pregnancy is hard, and the one thing I promised in all these videos is that I would be so honest and true and speak about the shit times of pregnancy, and this is one of those shit times that no one tells you about. No one says that you're not going to want to get out of bed in the morning because your anxiety is so high you don't want to see anyone. No one tells you that sometimes days are so hard that you do just cry. Pregnancy does things to your hormones anyway, so you're going to be upset, you're going to get angry, you're going to have mood swings and then think, shit, I probably shouldn't have said that. It's going to happen, but when it's on such a greater scale and you don't want to get out and go outside, it's different. No one gets that, and I feel like no one even appreciates that if you're not pregnant. Like, you don't have to be pregnant to seek help. It's for yourself, and I think there's so many girls out there, and there's so many girls that will be watching that feel so alone with it, but you're not. It's something that really means a lot to me, that people do just say, look, I'm struggling, and it took a lot for me to say that to even my partner, let alone a professional. But it makes such a difference, because for you to talk to someone and for someone to just understand, it makes such a big difference to your life. Anxiety isn't a fashion statement. It isn't something that can be fixed overnight. It's something that can have such a hold on you and control you. And the biggest point of it is that you can't let it control you. You can't let it make you think that you're worthless or that you're not good enough. I've spoken to so many people about it, and I never thought it would happen to me. And that's such a big thing. You never think it happens to you until it does, and then you're like, well shit, I should have listened, and now I'm knees deep in it and I can't get out. And the hardest thing for me, I think, was seeking help. And seeking help when you're about to be a mum and feeling like you're not strong enough is a real issue, and you shouldn't let it get to that point. So, for one, you're not alone. It happens to everyone, and that's a big thing to accept, because when you think of yourself as becoming a mum, you think of yourself as being strong and being able to have take anything that people throw at you. But what you don't think of is what your mind throws at yourself. And I think that the biggest thing for me was accepting the fact that, you know what, I'm growing a child, my body's going through so many changes, I can overcome it. There will always be a point that you feel so weak because you're tired. Your body is expanding and growing to make this tiny little child, but it's got to work hard for that. You have to give yourself a little bit of grace, because your body's going through so much that sometimes something's got to break. And in my instance, it was my mentality of I can do this. It then became I can't do this. It took me a long time to realise that, you know what, I can. It's just a little bit more difficult, and it just means that I've got to kick ass a little bit more every day. All of those mums out there that are trying for a baby and that suffer with anxiety and depression at the minute, it's not necessarily going to get worse over pregnancy, but it's going to be more surprising, and you're going to be less prepared for it. So you need to make sure that you're keeping on top of things. If you're someone like me who gets more anxious about not knowing, then prepare. Make sure that you have things ready for the little baby when they come. Just make sure that you're one step ahead and try and keep it that way. If you're someone that gets anxious about the unknown, then it's pregnancy, and you'll never know. And if my videos have taught you anything, it's that you genuinely can never be fully prepared for what's going to happen. And if you're someone that gets anxious just about everyday things, talk to people. Sit down and talk to your partner about your day and tell him or her about what's been getting you down and what you can do to resolve it, because bottling it up doesn't do anything. And life will get you down because it will never go how you want it to go all the time. And I think that's really important to know. You can have little pick-me-ups. I've got my little man. Say hello. Everything's going to be okay. You might have emotional breakdowns. You might have anxiety attacks. And you might not want to get out of bed some days. But your body is growing a mini you. So you've kind of got to give yourself a little bit of slack sometimes. And realise that you're not Superwoman. That's my biggest thing. I cannot do it all. But every mum that has a child, I absolutely salute you, because you don't get enough credit for what you do every day and how you cope. And you may think that you're not coping, but if your child is fed and clothed and warm and happy, you're doing amazing. And for those mums to be that are in the same boat as me, you're not on your own. It's something that we've got to deal with, but we'll do it together. And if you're just someone that likes to watch videos on Tuesday evening, but you can relate in some way, then know that the best thing to do is to talk about it, and there's always someone there willing to listen. And if it isn't a friend, if it isn't a family member, then it can be a total stranger. But to talk about it is better than bottling it up and saving it for a rainy day, because one day that box is going to be full. So the purpose of this random video is to prove that we can unite together and get through everything that life throws, even while you're growing a baby. It just takes a little bit of preparation and a little bit of slack for yourself. So anxiety and depression is something that can affect millions of people in the world, and it can either make you or break you. But even if you feel like it's breaking you, it's teaching you a lesson, and it'll all be okay. So pregnancy sucks still, but I'm 25 weeks, and in 15 very short weeks I will have a beautiful baby. So all of this, all of the tears, all of the feeling rubbish, it's not going to go away, but it's going to be worth it. So thank you for watching my very random video, and I hope it gave someone out there a little bit of reassurance that you're not alone. And we all get upset and we all find things too hard to bear sometimes, whether you're pregnant, whether you're at uni, whether you're just going through shit in life. It's gonna be okay. So thank you for watching, and I promise I won't be as rubbish with my videos, and I will see you guys soon.